$5 Games presents The Classrooms. Now let's go over some tips for surviving in a horror location like this. See a dark room? Don't go in it. Can you turn off the lights? Don't. See an open locker? Shut it. See blinking lights in the distance? Don't go near them. Creepy doll disappeared and now you hear her laughing behind a door? Don't go that way. Giant monster trampling around? Don't approach it. Giant smiling face in the dark? Wait, what? Okay. Don't give it a hug. Why am I doing another horror game? Can we make all future horror games over $5, please? A mic setting? Why is there a mic setting? Sure, I'll set it to my mic, but you can bet your bottom dollar that I'm not saying one peep playing this game, except that one time that I coughed. The story begins with the protagonist arriving at a school all by himself. In his trunk, we read that children have gone missing from the school in the middle of the day. It's nighttime, so he must think that they are still there. He breaks the window with a brick and heads inside. The objective marker says to find the breaker room, which does instill some simple questions for me. 1. How did that window get fixed? 2. Doing this at night indicates that you want some measure of stealth. Isn't turning on the breaker the opposite of that? Anyways, upon flipping the breaker, the camcorder jumps forward 3 hours, which instills a sudden desire to wait before flipping the breaker for 3 hours to see what happens. Actually, I just want to wait in front of the building until the sun rises. Can we do that instead? I threw everything around the room to test the physics and sound design. Not because I didn't want to play a scary game. No, of course not. I didn't spend 30 minutes just wandering around the hallways, ignoring the obvious key in the locker. Instead, I was able to verify that if I threw a cup against the right wall, I heard it hit the wall out of my right ear. Great! Now I can hear where the monsters are going to come from. That's just what I wanted to hear. My impending doom. The protagonist opens the door and finds himself in a new location, so I assume that nothing substantial happened in the missing 3 hours as far as he's concerned. The levels are randomly generated with pre-constructed rooms, which is kind of a good thing actually. The physics are decent as well. If you put a chair in the doorway, it'll stay propped open. Unfortunately, if there's a creepy doll on the other side of a door that you're trying to open, she'll block it. On the positive side of things, you know she's there. On the negative side of things, you probably need to go past her. On the further negative side of things, if you go too far away from her, she respawns. Progress is done through lock and key mechanics, and if you can't find the key, an audio hint will play after about 10 minutes. Death scenes actually aren't too scary in my opinion, as the animations are done in third person, as it is from the perspective of a camcorder. Actually, you can adjust the settings so the field of view is exactly like a camcorder. You can forget that. I'm bumping the field of view all the way up. And just to give one more hint before we end, instead of flooding the place to raise a board in order to reach the exit, just lift the board up at an angle and climb up the board. Probably a better idea in my opinion. Subscribe, I do 5 of these each week. Like and comment if you want. That's a wrap for this game. Consider picking this game up instead of ordering school photos.